Here with Ryan Smith. He is the Qualtrics founder and executive chairman, also the owner of the NBA's Utah Jazz. Welcome. It's good to see you this morning.
Hey, it's good to be here. Thanks for having me.
When people ask you what Qualtrics does, what do you say? Because your company has evolved so much over the years. I read a Harvard Business Review story where they say reinventing an already successful business. Most people would think if it ain't broke, don't fix it, yet you did. Why?
So look, I mean, it's my 22nd year in tech, and to survive in tech for 22 years, I'm fortunate enough that we were working on an idea in our basement 22 years ago, and it's never been more important today. So with Qualtrics, it's truly helping organizations manage their experiences. So whether you look at Amex or Delta, who I know you got Ed on, we're helping them understand how people really think and feel. Most data they're gathering is saying, hey, this is what someone did. And they're trying to analyze that and say, hey, where are they going to go in the future? Well, there's this other stream of data, which is experience data. We have the largest database in the world of sentiment data to say, hey, this is how I feel. This is what I'm going to go do next. And this is the relationship I have with you. And so we're helping organizations be able to put that into action, both on the customer experience side, the employee experience side, and then really brand and product. And we're the only platform in the world that puts it together. And so if you would have told me 22 years ago that's where we would have ended up, I would have said, let's go.
Well, you've been noticed. I mean, you're a former member of the CNBC Disruptor 50. So we've had our eye on what you've been doing. You mentioned all these experiences. I'm wondering how the pandemic changed all of that, the way we look at what an experience truly is, whether it's a customer experience, an employee experience. It's just changed the way people live, the way they work, the way they experience the world.
Yeah, we've actually become very in tune to experiences if you think about it. I think during the pandemic, the first thing everyone said is, okay, what's the work experience like? And we really became acclimated to this new work experience. And I think it was there. It just sped up, probably sped us up 5 years. I think from a customer experience side, we also got to see, hey, it's not a bad idea to have the groceries come to the door and different services that all of a sudden accelerated as well. And I think that what we also found is there's not a company in the world or a CEO in the world that isn't focused on at least the first, second, or third priority to be the customer and the employee. And that wasn't the case in 2010, 11, 12. We'd walk in and they'd be like, what are you doing here? And now it's like, hey, I have to have an experience management platform. We have to have this going forward. And it's actually started to get really, really enjoyable and fun when you're starting to see that work pay off.
The company has been a winding road, I would say. So you go public in January of 21. You go private in March of 23. You hated the public markets that much?
No, it even starts before that. In 2017, we were on the road. We sold the company 3 days before the IPO, and then went private, then took it out and went public, and then actually took it private again. And so, in my mind, we're pre-IPO. So here we are.
Again, here we go. We should look for you again once again sometime in the public markets.
And I think, look, with Silver Lake coming in, I mean, they've got an incredible track record. And I'm just fortunate to be able to still be a part of something that I founded 22 years ago. And the company is at size and scale and really well positioned.
Let's talk about that size and scale, because the size is smaller. You've had 2 rounds of fairly significant layoffs, right? 5% of the workforce in January of last year, and then 15% in October. Why and what does that right sizing of your business, if you want to put it that way, do for you?
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. I think if you look at the trajectory of Qualtrics, I mean, here we were ramping up for 16, 17 to go public and then go private. Is a big adjustment, and then getting ready to go public again through the pandemic, which is interesting. And then now going private, I think it was really a chance to look and say, okay, what were the bets we were making in 17? What were the bets we were making in 18? Where's the company go forward? Where are we geographically located? And then reality is like, how do we bet on the future and where are we going? How do we get more efficient? And, that was a shift. In 2017, it was all about growth at all costs. And the good news, the business is doing great. We've It's been phenomenal so far, but right sizing and going forward, I could really see and am seeing the growth engine really peak.
You talk about the future, which you are looking at in terms of how you see your home state of Utah, the Silicon Slopes, as they call it there. You want Utah to be a tech incubator, and you are building literally that from the ground up. 26 acres, 200 residential units, 300,000 square feet of office space. To do what?
Yeah, if you think you take a step back and you look at Utah, Utah's always had this innovation. I mean, I think there was a time in 2018 we had more IPOs than New York City, right? And if you look at how we're operating, we've got the youngest demographic in the country. You know, I think within a 90-mile radius, there's 250,000 college kids. We got the number one. We're number one in unemployment. We're the number one economy. We're the fastest growing state. Mm-hmm. And so if you put all that together, you say, hey, how do we harness that innovation here? And how does success breed success? And that's truly what we're trying to do with our incubator. It's this opportunity that what if you could, you had phenomenal housing next to that innovation, next to the university ecosystem, and just keep doing what we're doing.